Hello everyone and welcome to Sally and Bytes. Today, I am here to teach Data File Handling, Part 1, for the Class 12 students of Computer Science. In this video, we are going to learn Introduction of Data File Handling, what is a file, file I/O, input and output, why use files, data file operations, file types, text files, binary files, CSV files, difference between text files, binary files, CSV files. So, let's dive in and get started. Let's learn about data file handling. Look at the first box. Programs are transient, running for a short time and generating temporary output. Data entered and processed in these programs reside in primary memory, RAM, random access memory. Primary memory, RAM, is volatile, meaning it is temporary and gets cleared when the program ends. When the program is rerun, it starts with no previous data since it was temporary and is no longer available. Now, look at the second box. Some programs are persistent, running continuously or for a long time. Persistent programs store at least some data in permanent storage, such as a hard drive. When these programs shut down or restart, they resume execution from the same point. Examples of persistent programs include operating systems that run whenever a computer is switched on and web servers that run continuously, waiting for network requests. One of the simplest ways for programs to maintain their data is by reading and writing text files. The third box says about how business operations efficiently manage data with file handling. Programs used in day-to-day business operations heavily rely on file handling to manage data efficiently. Many business applications, such as accounting software, inventory management systems, and customer relationship management (CRM) tools, use files to store and retrieve information. Accounting software uses files to store financial records, transaction details, and reports. Inventory management systems store product information, stock levels, and purchase orders in files. CRM tools use files to keep customer data, sales history, and communication records organized. Files enable these applications to access and manipulate data even after the program execution ends, ensuring data persistence and reusability. So, what is a file? A file is a named location on secondary storage where data is permanently stored for later access. A file is a document or the data stored on a permanent storage device which can be read, written, or rewritten according to requirement. Data is packaged up on the storage device as data structures called files. All files are assigned a name that is used for identification purposes by the operating system and the user. What's the need for a data file? To store data in organized manner. To store data permanently. To access data faster. To search data faster. To easily modify data later on. So, what is file input and output? File I/O, input-output, is the process of reading data from files and writing data to files in computer programs, enabling permanent data storage and retrieval. File input-output means transfer of data from secondary memory, hard disk, to main memory or vice versa. Now, look at this picture. When we are working on a computer system, the file or the document stored on the hard disk is brought into RAM, random access memory for execution and vice versa. The arrow shows the flow of data. So, the data is read from external files using file input, file I/O. The program processes and manipulates the data as needed. Finally, the processed data is written back to external files using file output, file I/O. File handling in Python allows us to interact with files to store data permanently and read from them later. Data used in variables is temporary in nature. Once the applications is closed, all the variables and data are lost. So, there comes the concept of files. In order to save our data on some secondary storage device, we have to use files. Files are used to store data permanently on disk or to read data from external sources. Now, look at the picture. Data maintained inside the files is termed as persistent data, that is, it is permanent in nature. Python allows us to read data from and save data to the external text files permanently on secondary storage media. Apart from this, we permanently store the program data as Python scripts, with .py extension also. We usually use the files to store data permanently while working and storing data in word processing applications, spreadsheets, presentation applications, etc. All of these operations require data to be stored in files so that it may be used later. A file in itself is a bunch of bytes stored on some storage devices like hard disk, pen drive, etc. A file or data file is a stream or sequence of characters or data occupying named space on the disk where a sequence of related data is stored. It contains data pertaining to a specific application for later use. Let's discuss about data file operations. Data file operations refer to the actions and procedures performed on data stored in files using a computer program. These operations typically involve reading data from files, writing data to files, updating file content, and deleting files. Data file operations are essential in various applications where data needs to be persisted or retrieved from files. Data file handling in Python enables us to create, update, read, and delete the files stored on the file system through our Python program. The following operations can be performed on a file. In Python, file handling consists of following 3 steps. Open a file. Process data, that is, performing operations like read, write, append, insert, delete, etc. Close the file. Let's discuss about the file types before we discuss about the file operations. Computers store every file as a collection of zeros and ones that is in binary form. Therefore, every file is basically just a series of bytes stored one after the other. Python allows us to create and manage 3 types of file: text files, binary files, and CSV files. Let's discuss one by one in detail. Let's learn about the text files. Text file definition. A text file is a type of computer file that stores plain text characters without any special formatting or binary data. Let's see some key points of text files. Human readable. Text files contain data that can be easily read and understood by humans as it consists of readable text. Encoding. Text files are often encoded using ASCII, Unicode character. Line termination. Each line of text in a text file is typically terminated by a special character, known as end-of-line, EOL. By default, this EOL character is the new line character, \n. Next is creation and editing. Text files can be created and edited using simple text editors like Notepad, Windows, TextEdit, macOS, Nano, or Vi, Unix-like systems. Common uses. Text files are widely used for storing configuration settings, program source code, log files, data for data processing tasks, and more. Read and write in Python. In Python, you can use the built-in open function to read from and write to text files. Reading uses R mode, while writing uses W mode, and appending uses A mode. File handling. It's a good practice to use the with statement in Python for file handling, as it automatically handles file closing and ensures proper cleanup even if an exception occurs. Universality. Text files are platform independent, making them easily exchangeable between different operating systems and applications. Examples of text files include document files such as .txt, .rtf, .pdf, tabular files, such as .csv, .tsv, source code files, such as .py, .js, .c, .app, .java. Web standard files, such as .html, .xml, .css, .json. Configuration files, such as .ini, .cfg, .reg. Text files play a fundamental role in computing and are essential for data storage, communication, and data exchange between different systems. Let's learn about the binary files. Binary files are a type of computer file that stores data in a non-human readable format. Unlike text files, binary files contain encoded data that is not directly interpretable by humans. Let's see some key points of binary files. Non-human readable. Binary files store data in binary format, consisting of sequences of zeros and ones, making them not human readable. Encoding. Binary files can store any type of data, including images, audio, video, executables, and more. The data is represented using binary code. No line termination. Unlike text files, binary files do not use line termination characters like \n, new line character. File size. Binary files are generally more compact and efficient in terms of storage as they represent data in a more compressed manner. Reading and writing. Reading and writing binary files involve using the appropriate mode, RB for reading, WB for writing, and dealing with bytes or byte arrays. Examples of binary files include image files, such as .png, .jpg, audio files, such as .mp3, .wav, video files, such as .mp4, .avi, compiled executable files, such as .exe, .dll. Content interpretation. To interpret the data in binary files, specific file formats and knowledge of the data structure are required. Each file type has its unique format and decoding process. Read and write in Python. In Python, you can use the open function with binary mode to read and write binary files. Reading uses RB mode, while writing uses WB mode. Safety. Due to their non-human readable nature, binary files should be handled with caution to avoid accidental data corruption. Binary files are essential for storing and processing complex data that requires precise encoding, such as multimedia files, databases, and compiled software. When working with binary files, it's crucial to understand the file format specifications to properly read and interpret the data. Let's learn about the CSV files. CSV, comma-separated values, files are a popular file format for storing tabular data. In CSV files, each line represents a row of data, and each value within the row is separated by a comma, or another delimiter character, such as a tab or semicolon. Let's see some key points of CSV files. Structure. CSV files are plain text files that organize data in a table-like format, with rows and columns. Each row represents a record, and each column represents a field or attribute. Next is the delimiter. The values in CSV files are separated by a delimiter character, typically a comma, hence the name comma-separated values. However, other delimiters like tabs, \t, or semicolons are also commonly used. Next is human readable. CSV files are human readable, making them easy to create, edit, and view in a text editor or spreadsheet software. Next is the common use. CSV files are widely used for data exchange between different applications and platforms due to their simplicity and versatility. No data types. CSV files do not store data types, all values are treated as strings. Any data type conversions must be performed during data processing. Header row. CSV files often include a header row at the beginning, which provides the names or labels for each column. Handling special characters. Special characters, such as the delimiter itself or new lines within a field, need to be properly escaped or enclosed in quotes to maintain data integrity. File extension. CSV files typically have a .csv file extension. Salient features of CSV files are, each record consists of fields separated by comma, delimiter. It is the most preferred import and export format for databases and spreadsheets. Each line in a CSV file is treated as a record. Let's see the difference between text file, binary file, and CSV file. Representation. Text file contains human-readable text characters. Binary file stores data in non-human readable binary format, whereas CSV file contains tabular data with comma-separated values. Next is file contents. Text file is a plain text, for example, letters, words, sentences. Binary file is any data type, example, images, audio, video, executables. CSV files are structured data in rows and columns. Next is delimiters. In text file, no specific delimiters, new line character separates lines. In binary file, no specific delimiters, data is represented in binary code. In CSV file, comma, tab, or other custom delimiters are used. Next is structure. Text file. Textual data without a defined structure. Binary file. Data is represented as a sequence of zeros and ones. CSV file. Table-like structure with rows and columns. Next is size. Text file. Larger in size compared to binary files. Binary file. Often more compact and efficient in storage. CSV file. Larger in size than plain text due to separators. Next is human readability. Text file easily readable and editable by humans. Binary file. Not human readable, requires special software to interpret. CSV file. Human readable, but values need proper parsing. Next is platform dependent. Text file. Platform independent, new line handling may vary. Binary file. May have portability issues due to different binary representations. CSV file. Platform independent, widely used for data exchange. Next is file extension. Text file. Commonly has .txt or other text-specific extensions. Binary file. File extensions vary based on the file type, example, .jpg, .mp3, .exe. CSV file. Commonly has .csv or other delimiter-specific extensions. Next we can see the examples. Text file. Hello, this is a text file, binary file. Binary file, non-human readable. CSV file. Name, age, email. Last difference is usage. Text file. Used for storing configuration settings, program source code, etc. Binary file. Suitable for multimedia files, databases, and compiled software. CSV file. Ideal for data exchange and tabular data storage. Thanks for watching. Watch the upcoming videos. Data file handling part 2. Opening a file, methods to open a file, using open, function, using with statement, file open modes. You can check the link in the description box below.